We're at the IDA Facilitators Conference in London, and one of our guests that's come along to the conference is Lau Hesselbaek.
Hesselbaek Andreasen.
Actually, Lau, if you want to tell us what your background is.
Sure. Well, we run a different initiative all about community of practice as well. We have a network of about 250 online professionals across Europe, mainly in Scandinavia where we started. And what we preach and practice is knowledge sharing and networking. It's a bit broader. It's not just local government. It is actually across all kinds of industries and also public sector, government agencies. So what we do is get people with the same job titles together but we actually insist on face-to-face meetings 4 times a year. We also have an online extranet, so very much like the one you're running here. But as has been talked about throughout the morning, the actually getting together face-to-face 4 times a year and making sure, just as importantly, that the face-to-face meetings are actually relevant to the people who turn up. The challenge that we talked about earlier was the buy-in from management to actually get people who are not necessarily the active contributors to the community to buy into what you're doing, to understand it, and to be ambassadors for it, because you need that in order to grow it. Otherwise, you're going to be a few very enthusiastic people running out of steam at some point.
Yeah.
And there isn't a magic answer. I think the culture is different where we started, in that the workplace and the work market is more horizontal. We have less of a hierarchy internally in organizations, so it's easier for people to actually make decisions about what they get involved in, what they contribute to, and so forth.
So, Lau, I mean, is there any sort of lessons that you could perhaps give us in terms of our managers? And I think we talked earlier on the fact that you just mentioned there's more of a hierarchical structure in the UK, or perhaps more European markets. Is there anything lessons that you've learned from the communities that you've been involved in the Scandinavian area in terms of actually trying to get our managers more engaged in this whole aspect of social networking and communities of practice?
Try and figure out what the risk elements of you not being there are, because it's very, very difficult to quantify things we do. We all know that it makes a positive difference, and that in the long run there is a real value to it, also a measurable value, but it's very difficult when you're starting out. However, if you could try and turn it around, because the risk always works. Sadly, it's and then it depends on how you wrap it up and present it. You don't want to go in and start threatening people and saying if we weren't here, the world would collapse, because that's not the case. But there are certainly, and it very much depends on the context you're in. There is always some risk factors you can look at and try and use those.
Great. Okay, thanks very much for that then, Lau.
Cheers.
That's useful information. Thank you.